Hi everyone, VortexTCG here, and today I've got the second game of locals where I'm going to be playing Garuru or MetalGaruru, and my opponent's going to be playing Alphamon, a deck that got quite a lot of support in BT13. And if you're looking forward to this gameplay video, please do like and subscribe to the channel, and also follow me on Twitter. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Anyways, I swing with the Garuru X stack here because unfortunately I don't really have much going for me, and I feel like it's going to get the lead anyways. He goes to the DexterRugomon, trashing a card, then gaining a memory, and then getting blocker retaliation. He goes to the Dextoru. They all sound the same in this deck, but essentially able to use his when Digivolving effect to put one underneath and then pass the turn. So I go into the Garuru, then the Garuru X Antibody, and then I end the turn by going into the Garuru to finish off, giving him free. So he goes into the DoruGoromon, I believe it is, or promotes it, goes to the DexterRugomon to then trash a card and then gain a memory and then gain blocker retaliation. He then swings at security, hits a Davis. That allows me to get the the Garuru X Antibody to the hand, and then he goes into the Alphamon to pass the turn. So I've got a pretty decent turn here, I feel. I mean, I'm able to essentially bounce the DexterRugomon. Man, it's a real tongue twister. And I might be able to also get rid of the Alphamon. So here I go into the Garuru X Antibody to bounce the level 4 stack at least, but I still got a bit of a problem when it comes to the Alphamon. So here, I mean, I've got a lot of memory to play with, so I could potentially do some shenanigans. I go into the Gabumon here to get some additional searches going, go into the Gabumon X Antibody, do some more searches, and this is one of the things that I like about this deck, just the fact that you can play essentially 2 rookies out for the cost of 3 and get additional searches, which is very, very nice. Here I'm just considering what I want to get, and also I think my opponent here was asking what is the Garuru from EX1 do. Not a lot in this situation, as it turns out, but I add it anyways because I think I was lacking a level 5 after this stack. So here I'm just checking the effect of the Alphamon, and here, so I end up, I think I'm going to go into the X Antibody option card here, which allows me to put one underneath, swing. I then use this effect to go into MetalGaruru X Antibody, unsuspend, and attempt to bounce the Alphamon back. He's going to protect it and then swings into the Alphamon or Yuken. I then use the Inheritable to then protect myself and then go for the second swing and then pass the turn. So he is now at, I believe, well, it's going to get rid of the stack by going into the Oyuken, unfortunately. But, you know, I can't really do that much about it. If only this deck had some protection from effects, that would be really great. But we're not going to get that. I don't even know if that's in the new support, actually, now that I think about it. But he swings in security, unsuspends. Still got my stack out here, which is quite nice, but I don't think he's going to be here for that long, especially as he plays the level 4 here. So it's quite obvious what he's going to go for. He's going to use the end of turn or Yuken effect to gain memory to continue the turn, go into the Dextoru to give one a blocker and retaliation, and also gain a memory, swing a security again, hits the Garurumon, swings again because of the new Oyuken, not the Oyuken, it's the one that allows you to unsuspend. He then goes into the level 5 that allows you to trash a card to delete a level 4 or lower and gain a memory, which is very frustrating. So at this point I feel like I'm definitely out of this game. He then goes, I think he was considering going to the Alphamon there, but decided not to. He then goes into the black memory boost to go to 0, adding, I believe, the Orumon, I believe it is, and then goes to the Alphamon and then passes the turn. So at this point I'm looking at my hand and I feel like there isn't really much I can do. I might be able to do some like funny haha moment here if I'm lucky. Essentially depends on how my opponent plays around certain effects. So I pop the memory boost here to go to 2. I then go into the Garurumon for 1, and then here I think I make a bit of a misplay. I think I should have played the Ice Wall here. I had an Ice Wall in hand, and I feel like at this point I should have definitely got into that before going into the Garuru. Obviously my opponent gets more memory, but essentially just slows my opponent down even more. So I go into the MetalGarurumon here. So this is the reason why I should have played it, and then use his effect to trash free to, you know, go to the end of go to my turn. Swings, he gets to do the effect again, and then unsuspends and goes to game 2. We then get into game 2, and I believe I'm going to be starting off here. I go into the Sunomon, then go into the Gabumon, and then I just play the Cool Boy to pass the turn. I do get the X Antibody, which is quite nice here, preparing me for my follow-up turns. He goes into the Sunrisermon and then plays a Black Memory Boost of his own, getting the Alphamon and putting the rest to the bottom of the deck. And as I don't have enough memory to essentially, you know, go for a bigger turn, I end up just playing another Cool Boy just to get some more searches, getting the MetalGarurumon X into my hand this turn. And so my opponent here is going to do a very similar play by going into, I believe, the level 4 here, and raising and giving me 1 again, which is, you know, apparently what we're doing. So I then do the same by going into the Garurumon to pass the turn. And so he promotes now, he pops the Black Memory Boost, goes to 0, is able to put the Dexdoru underneath, which doesn't have an inheritable, so that's good. But I think he also gains a draw from the Dorumon, I believe it is. So he's able to get some more consistency out. And so I think at this point he's just thinking, he's going to go into the X Antibody option card here, and he's also going to go for a big swing play potentially. So he goes into the Alphamon, swings, is able to do, I believe, 13k, and then it hits a Sagittarius mode in security. So at this point I feel like I've got everything that I need, so I feel definitely a lot more confident going into the play that I'm going to at this point. So I'm just making sure that I have all the pieces in my hand before I make a misplay. I'm just checking if it has any protection effects, and it does not. So I go into the Garurumon, go into the X Antibody, tapped both of the Cool Boys to gain 2 memory and draw 2 cards. This is where the power of the deck really does show. I then go into the Garurumon X Antibody, don't get to unsuspend obviously or anything, so I then go into the X Antibody. I then swing, unsuspend, well, go into the MetalGarurumon, bounce back the Alphamon, and then swing for, I believe, 1 check here. It is an Alphamon, but it doesn't die. So, yeah, so passes to my opponent's turn again. He's definitely in a bit of a hard place here, if I'm being honest. Like, he has to essentially build up another stack and then swing again. So, not a great situation for my opponent to be in. He goes into the Sunrisermon here, and I believe he hasn't really got much else going on, so he plays a Cool Boy, is able to, well, there's a pretty decent selection here, but I feel like all of the pieces, these are all the pieces that he does need to get, so not as great as he probably wants. I think he goes for the Dexdoru here, the security one that is limited, and then here, I think he's just going to pass the turn by going into a level 4. Oh no, he just plays the Ryudamon here. Gets another Ryudamon and puts the rest at the bottom. So here I've got 3 memory, so I'm feeling a little bit more confident for sure. So I build up another stack in the background going into the Gabumon. I then play, I believe, another Gabu here. Oh no, I swing first and then goes into security. It's the level 4, so it doesn't die. I then play a Gabumon here, which allows me to reveal the top 3. I add, I believe, I'm considering adding the X Antibody here. Yeah. Oh no, I add the EX1 Garurumon here. And so at this point, definitely feel like I'm in the winning seat here. I then go into the Gabu X Antibody here, which allows me to add some lovely cards, let's put it that way. I think there's I add the Omnimon here. I can't add both because this is the X Antibody. I also get to do the Cool Boy, gain 2 memory and draw 2 cards, which is definitely very nice, to say the least. So at this point, I believe I go into the level 4. I think I'm considering it, but I don't want to get blown out. So I think here I might end up just going actually into the Omnimon here to pass the turn, unsuspend, and then swing. And then I've got this stack now has protection because of the Omnimon. I can return the what is it? The MetalGarurumon to the bottom of the deck, I believe it is. So yeah, definitely feel like I'm in a winning position here. My opponent has to do a lot here. So he goes into the Dorumon here, I think the Dorugamon here, which is not the one he probably wants to see. This is the DP one. He then goes into the Dorugreymon, I believe this is, and then goes to my turn. And there's nothing really stopping me from winning at this point. I do have the Gabu. For some reason, I don't think I promote it for some reason. yeah, for some reason I don't. For some reason, so I swing. I use the X Antibody to go into Omnimon X Antibody, bottom deck that, and then when swinging, I'm able to look at the security and then trash one. Shockingly, I'm going to trash the Congo and go to game 3. We then get into, obviously, the final game, and my opponent's going to be starting by going into the Dorumon and then playing the UG, so pretty good start here from my opponent. I go into the Gabumon, and I play the Gabu X out here, and I don't get a search, which is very unfortunate. Obviously, my luck. I don't know why this always happens to me. It always does. So at this point, I'm just wondering what I should do at this point, because I think my hand wasn't that great, and I don't really want to continue putting cards down. So I ended up just passing here. They go into the Dorugomon here. Then goes to the Dex Daruga to trash a card and get a memory and gain blocker retaliation. Then goes into the limited one, Saki player. And then he goes into the Dex, deleting the X Anti. So clearly my opponent's just had like the hand of all hands, and I can't really do much about it, clearly. So at this point, I think he was just confused about the memory, and I was like, you're at 1 here, I believe it is, because he gained memory and then paid 2, then gained 1, and then paid 3. So and then gained 1. So well, not gained 1 because the Dex also costs 1 to Digivolve into. So he goes to the Black Memory Boost. It does hit something, but a lot of Tamers have gone. So maybe I've got a chance here, just maybe. So I'm just thinking here, like, I should probably promote, because I kind of just want to make sure that I do have, you know, I could get draws from my egg pile, essentially. So because I feel like at this point I am lacking a lot of cards, and I just can't find the cards that I particularly need. And my opponent can't really do anything about my level 3s at this point, because he's already played the trash one, delete level 4 or lower. So I definitely feel a bit more safer. He swings and puts a Daruga, swings, and it's an X Antibody. I gain a memory and it goes to my hand. So I think if... Oh, it doesn't have a security check as well because of the limited guy underneath as well. So hitting the Guru promo there definitely does suck, because I kind of definitely want to find that. But he puts me to 1, which is kind of just like a death sentence for me, which is a bit unfortunate. So you can see my hand there is definitely a bit of a bricky mess. So I swing at security, it dies, and then I think I'm going to swing again and hit an all you can. So yeah, I mean, I think... Like, I don't know what I meant to do at this point. I don't know why this always happens to me when I'm playing, like, these, like, combo decks, but, like, for some reason I can never find any of the pieces that I, like, definitely do need to play the deck. It happens with me, like, with Jesmon, it's happening with me with MetalGaruru, Blue Flare. Like, I just don't find pieces when I need to find them, and it always ends up making me lose, so... but then I see people, like, with... you know, winning tournaments with what deck was it? It was the Blue Flare, like in regionals and ulti cups, and I'm just like, how do you do it? You got to teach me the ways. He swings at security here and hits into an Omni, which he can't deal with, thankfully. But I don't think it's really going to save me as much as I want it to. And here I just show, like, I've got 3 X Antibodies in my hand. Like, I don't know what you want me to do at this point, because I literally just, like, what am I meant to do? Like, there's nothing else I can really add unless, like, I get a killer draw right now. But I have no tamer set up. I have no, you know, like, nothing going on, essentially. My hand is bad, so I just can't do much, unfortunately. So, and he's always putting me to, like, 2 memories, so I can't do anything. So I just end up promoting here, because at this point I'm kind of just fed up with the game, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's something like at this point, like, what are you meant to do? Like, when you have, like, a hand like this, you can't really do much. But I do have a bit of an ace up my sleeve, which is the MetalGarurumon ace, but unfortunately my opponent has Alphamon, and he's going to Digivolve and ruin my plans. So yeah, I mean, what am I meant to do? I mean, can't really do that much. So he goes into the all you can to delete it, and at this point I'm just like, what are you meant to do? Like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know what it is with me and playing, like, these combo decks but I seem to just cannot find the cards, and then I just end up losing here, and then my opponent wins game 3.